Liftoff and the clock has started.
Good evening.
Fear.
Fear. Fear.
Drei.
What? What'd you say? Drive? I don't want to do any driving. I want a ferret.
Zwei.
Swine? Who's a swine? I'll give you a swine. Take that, you! Ow! No, don't hit me.
Eins.
What? What's the matter with my eyes? I know one fell out, but no need to be rude, is there? Cheeky.
Gold.
Gold? Go for gold! Ferret. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi Showbie with me, Richard Vobes, on the 9th of July 2021. The lovely Julia, hopefully, fingers crossed, will be joining us live from Lancing. I'm in Worthing. There is 3 miles between us and a number of houses, roads, and, of course, rogue children who don't always go to bed on time. And so she will be trying to tuck them up, bludgeon them over the head with a very large pole, and ensure that with a little bit of hypnosis, actually turn the sound effects off, that would be better, and then the kids will be fast asleep, and she will be actually be able to join us. So, there we go. It's Friday, the end of another week, and it's very nice to be here, back from Dorset, apparently, although that was a week ago. It's very nice to see you all out there. Thank you very much. If you happen to be any of those wonderful people who came along to the sister station, the Bald Explorer, to watch the adventures in Dorset with Ernie. And another big thank you, really, to Ernie, who made it all possible, without which there wouldn't have been a video. And we would have all been looking at a blank screen, and I would have been embarrassed and put my head under a pillowcase, or even in it, or even under the bed, or somewhere else. Somewhere dark, maybe down there with Eric. Although actually, Eric is up there on the treadmill, making sure all the lights are working. Faster, Eric, faster! which is he's being gagged, so he can't actually say anything. So there we go. Richard is broadcasting live from the cave. That's right. Yes, sorry about that. We accidentally left the reverb on. Apologies. Hello, Richard and Julia, says Elaine Whitelock even. And Rachel T.S., she says that's better. It was very Enid Blyton. I do beg your pardon about that. So, as the lovely Julia is not going to be there, hang on, I need to put the control room on to see where she is. That's it. Marvellous. Now, I've been reliably informed that we're not going to be interrupted by any football. There's no matches in between. I don't know what's going on. I don't actually watch the football, so I have no idea at what stage and how long and how many more there's going. All I know is apparently it's going home. And they do say this, and I've heard this all day. No matter where you go, they keep saying football's going home. And I don't know where home is. And I wish they'd hurry up and put this bloody football home so that they can put it in a box and we can all get on with other things. I appreciate that not everybody will feel exactly the same way as me. And, of course, a lot of people are enjoying it. I did hear one commentator talk about football and said this is great because we can all be patriotic again. And I thought, well, if that's what it does, if that's what it takes, everybody gets behind a team, we can all be patriotic, then I'm all for it. It's fantastic. If everybody can, if this is made that thing, because it's England, isn't it? It's England, and I'm all about England. And it kind of sort of goes into the whole Brexit thing. I think that here we are. It's the Euro. It's not the Eurovision Song Contest. It's not the money, is it? The Euro coin, euros. Is that what it is? I don't really know anything. So you'll have to excuse my ignorance on all of this football stuff. And I don't want to talk about the football stuff. But it's interesting that if we are going to win this, wouldn't that be great in terms of we've had Brexit, we got out of the European Union, and then we win the football, and everybody can then, get together and be nice to one another and not be nasty. Even me. Apparently, on occasions, yes, I could be nasty. Who knew? But we're all human. And every now and again, we do say things that we don't always mean, and we say them out of frustration. And if anybody gets offended by anything that I say, then I'm sorry. None of it is meant personally. Sometimes gaskets get blown. Let's find out who, not doctor, but who is out there in the stratosphere, or even the Vobosphere, as we like to call it, and then we can crack on with the show. We do have some interesting videos for you, not too many tonight. We can have a good old nit-nat chitty-chatter. I've charged up the phone, so you're very welcome to give me a phone call and chat about whatever's on your agenda. But let's start and find out who is out there tonight. The lovely Julia, Mark Burgess, Sean James Cameron, Tall Podge Rog. We have Alison O'Brien. We have Kerry Baldwin. We have Colonel Cragratty, Bonnie H, Jackie H.W, Anna Jones, the Vedgoer, Vedgoer. I don't know what a ved is. The Veggoer. Sorry, Richard. The Veg Grower podcast. Check it out. It's a great podcast, by the way. And it does YouTube as well. Who else have we got there? Mark Burgess, did I say that? Audrey Forbes Hamilton, Alison O'Brien. We have Daly Walker. We have The Vobe Show, obviously, that's me. Alan Sandell. Rita Lloyd. Daly Walker, I've said. Nigel Sadler. Emily Champion. David Vad. Andrew Norris. Amanda Fitchie. And Rachel T.S. I may or may not have said that. And I'm sure, I've got an arrow saying, come down. Why won't you go down? Oh, there we go. Exploring with Suggett. Is that Amanda? Is that Amanda? Is that little Amanda? I say little Amanda. I mean, very lovely Amanda is what I mean. Clive Waterfall and Ernie Sammett, the star of the earlier part of the evening. Ernie, big question to you. Was it okay? Was it okay? Was it an ordeal? This, for those people who don't know, was it an ordeal having the Vobes down with you? Sorry, I just got distracted there because Rachel T.S. says Euro 2020. It probably means 2021, don't you? Is that what it's called? That's the reference? Anyway, football's done. We've done that. Great premiere, says Bonnie. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. I appreciate that. Yes, it's me, says Amanda. Lovely to see you. And Amanda, I'm looking forward to coming over to your wonderful place and sampling some of your lovely baking. I should just point out, Amanda does the what do you call it? The Urban Explorer No, I was going to say unexploded bombs. I forget what the shorthand of it is. And I know I don't really approve of trespassing and all of that. Although if you watched the part 2 of the adventures in Dorset, you'll notice that I did a little bit myself. So the hypocrisy from the Vobe is a bit like the Prime Minister, really. But everybody else is getting away with it. That's the thing. Everybody else gets away with it. Say one thing, do the other. I thought I'd just go and do a Hancock. Well, not quite the Hancock situation. I'm sure he's got more on his... Anyway, never... I was nearly rude then. Yes, urban exploring. But what I was going to say is Amanda not only does the urban exploring, thank you for getting me back on track, she bakes some of the greatest cakes you have ever tasted. Absolutely delicious and wonderful. And I can't wait to come over and see you. Bonnie says, are the Olympics called 20... Why would they be called 2020? You mean 2021, isn't it? Emily says, it's still called 2020 even though... It's 2021. Is that because they left it out last year? We have a phone call. I'm being saved. We have a phone call. Let's find out who is on the old blower and say hello to that gentle caller. Hello, caller.
Hello, is that the Ernie fan club?
Oh, yes, it is. Can I sign you up? Now, to be a member of the Ernie fan club, it's £10 payable to Richard Vobes. 1% of that goes to Ernie.
Fair dues.
It's fair, isn't it? I think that's very fair.
Oh, I think that's very good. You did all the work there. He just provided the land.
Yes, he provided the land and the house. He didn't actually provide any accommodation. I had to sleep in my leaky old van. Actually, it wasn't leaky. But one night it was raining and it was rat-a-tat-tat. Oh, did you see the second hour? Anyway, it was...
Yes, yeah, drumming.
Drumming. Although it wasn't... by the time I got up, you see, I woke up in the middle of the night and went, oh my God, listen to that. And I thought, oh, I better video something. Because by the time I sort of got myself on, put a shirt on and looked reasonably presentable and unfolded my face, it had just got into splat. Typical, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, how are you?
It always goes.
Nigel,
I'm fine.
It's Nigel Sadler, ladies and gentlemen, from Tonbridge, or Tunbridge, however you want to.
I think we'll go for Tunbridge.
Yeah, Tunbridge.
I'm trying to get rid of the O now.
Trying to get rid of the O. Anyway, so how the devil are you? What have you been up to? What are you doing ringing the Vogue show?
Well, I was saying how much I enjoyed your premiere. I think the thing that made it extra special was that I was sitting there watching it with, I think, 295 other keen watchers at the same time.
I was very dubious about doing this as a premiere because I just thought all that chatting, nobody's going to watch it, and they'll be just, a bit like the Vogue show. They no interest in the actual show, but everybody gets together and have a good natter. And but
it was excellent. I mean, I watched it on the big screen and then communicated by the phone, which of course was running five seconds ahead because no device ever is in sync with another device.
No, that's true.
So it was getting confusing because I was getting this 5-second preview of what I was about to see on the big screen when I was busy seeing things in the phone. But that's the way of YouTube life.
Yeah.
But no, it was fantastic.
Oh, good. Well, do you think I should do more of these premieres? Do you think it's worth doing it? I mean, not necessarily everyone, but
I can't see you doing any harm. Those who can join in.
Yes.
It's nice having you on the stream as well to add adding your extra little bit. So I felt there was a real sense of community, and this is a community channel.
That's right. That's true. I went from one.
You know what I mean.
Yes, no, but originally the Bold Explorer was on the community channel, and
yes,
I've gone.
I know.
No, but that's a good joke, isn't it? I've gone from one community to my own community. Well,
and I guess you're probably bigger than the original community channel was anyway.
Oh, I doubt that, but it was interesting because I used to cringe when they got it and it was on the community. I always thought community channel is such a naff name because it's sort of it's like very parochial, but actually, of course, it was a community of I don't know, a wide community who I think they tried to get people to buy the channel, so they could save their, because it was a charity channel and they ran out of money and nobody would put money into it, and so they tried to sell it. But I don't know that it's still going.
Was it nationwide, or was it just a regional
It
thing?
was nationwide. It came out of London. It was in a building bang opposite not Broadcasting House, Television Centre in Wood Lane.
Right.
And some of the offices in this building were BBC offices, and then they had they didn't have any studios as far as I remember. They just had offices, and people made stuff. I think they had one little room which they did some stuff, but mostly they got stuff from people who were like me, keen, but didn't need paying. We did need paying, but they would go, well, we can put you on air, and we haven't got any money. So it was a broadcast credit, is what you could legitimately say you were broadcast. Much good it did me.
Oh well, but nevertheless, I just thoroughly enjoyed watching that, and I've gone and watched the second one because you do.
Yeah.
And that was lovely.
So here's the question for you: do you think if I had put them all in one video? Because I did do that, and it was 50 minutes, and I recoiled thinking, who's going to watch me for 50 minutes? Forgetting that people watch this for 90 minutes. But that's a different thing. But I just wondered, is it going to be too long? So that's why I thought, I'll do one at 27 at a suitable break.
I'd go for the whole thing. I can't. I don't. I mean, unless there is a good reason to have for the suspense. And part two will follow. Unless there's a good reason for doing that, and there wasn't in this.
No,
it wasn't designed to be. Wasn't written that way. Wasn't created that way.
No.
Then the whole thing. I mean, as you say, we spend 90, 120 minutes watching a Vobes, and that's live, and that's all real time.
Yes.
When you're watching on World Explorer Group, you think, well, I haven't got. Well, look, got it. I think it's an hour. Right, I'll watch that over lunch then.
Yeah.
So and then you move the time accordingly.
I think one of the secrets, if you can get this right, is if you can get people to start watching and hook their attention, and then if the production levels are nice, then I think people will just continue to watch. And but it's very easy to get bogged down and be boring if you don't have much of a budget. You can't do many things, but if you've got several days to film if you've got several days to film it over, you can do that thing about staying in the van overnight, having breakfast. You can add elements to it that just give it a different feel than just going for a walk for an hour, because that would be.
Well, it had space.
Yes.
You had longer lingering shots than you would normally do. Not a lot longer, but it was just noticeably a bit longer and a bit quieter.
Yes.
I mean, it was just the ambient sounds of birds at 5 o'clock in the morning. That was just nice to be able to absorb and relax that without the sort of more frenetic output normally.
Absolutely. Well, that's what I think you have to do if you're doing a long format, and also I wanted to make it more televisual, as it were, more television-like with more of the cuts, rather than And so I obviously there was some GoPro stuff in there and what have you, because it just became easier to film certain bits climbing up the hill and what have you. But even then,
yes, it was a shame he didn't have the better camera for those views at the top. But you didn't know, and you've got to make some decision whether you're going to lug all.
Well, we
stuff
thought
up
it was going to
and get pissed with rain at the same time.
Yeah, that's
but
what
didn't. But we didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly that. That's right. Well, I'm so pleased it went down well. Sean James Cameron says, put the full 50 minutes up and let the audience decide with the pause button. Better, yeah. I don't know what is going to be the right length for these videos, and they may be different lengths depending on the subject. I don't want to feel that I've got to make it a certain length if then you're ending up padding it out. It's just got to, I don't want it to stop, too soon so that people go, oh, that's a bit disappointing. But yeah, Colonel Craig Ratty just says there, I would watch 50 minutes video instead of 2 parts. I like the live chat, the morphed version of the Bald Expletor, the Bald Explorer meets the Vogue show in premiere vision. Great all round. So those that didn't see the premiere, of course, it's now up and it's a live thing. But part 2 will only come out tomorrow, because unless you've got the URL, You won't find it, and it was and it's going to be scheduled as the Saturday video. But I think the consensus is to put the whole thing as one. So that's good. I'm learning this all the way around. I've never done a premiere, so that was actually more fun than I thought. I thought it was just going to be full of people coming in going, oh, boring. No, this is dull. No, why? That's what I thought.
No, we were all sitting looking at the startup screen for about 10 minutes.
Oh, I know.
Thinking,
so was I.
Drinks, got our nuts, got our whatever.
Yeah, that was the most nerve-wracking bit. Going, what's it going to happen? Is he going to start? Is it what's going to go next? Do we get Pearl and Dean come on? Yeah, the thing is, I would love to have done that, but of course you can't. Copyright.
No.
Hey ho.
Quite.
Never mind.
Albatross. Okay.
Albert, yeah. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, Nigel. We better press on. But thank you very much for the encouragement. I really appreciate that.
Let's get on with the show.
Yes, we certainly shall. Take care.
Bye.
Look after yourself. Bye-bye.
Bye.
There we go. That is the lovely Nigel Sadler. Have I managed to drop the call? Oh, no, there we go. Drop the call there. Marvellous. That's very kind. What a nice man. What a nice man the old Sadler is. And first, if you want to call in the Vobes show and tell me how marvellous... No, I don't mean that. If you want to have a chat with the old Vobes, then 07934746790 is the number. It'd be lovely to talk to you. We're hoping that lovely Julia will be joining us soon. She'll be joining us remotely, as she does on a Friday, but she's putting the kids to bed at the moment. And poor old Joe didn't go to bed till about 5. Well, he had his normal midday sleep at about 5, so he's probably wide awake and not going to play ball, which is a shame. She wasn't feeling very well last night, actually, and she's on her own at the moment. So, and as she was feeling really rough, I went over there and I put Joe to bed. And in the end, I had to hit him over the head with a hammer. That worked really well, but we were slightly worried he wouldn't wake up in the morning. So I had to sort of say, did he wake up? Yes, he did. By the way, I didn't actually... Not everything I say is 100% accurate. My memory, I don't think I hit him over the head with a... What would be fantastic with kids, would it not, is if we all knew how to do hypnosis. I used to know how to do hypnosis, and I used to hypnotise people. But if you could hypnotise kids from an early age so that you could get that subliminal thing in their brain that every time you had a key word or you clicked your fingers and said sleep, that they would actually do it there and then. Wouldn't that be great? It's time for bed, Joe. Yeah. Sleep. And bang. That's what every parent... Now, you'd be onto a fortune if you could sell a disc or a book that said how to get your kids to sleep in 10 seconds. A fiver. You wouldn't have to charge them up. Millions of people would go for that. Ron Langley says, sorry I'm late. No problem, Ron. God. How to insult your audience. I'll show you many ways to do it. Rufus Excalibur Fawkes says, the poor wee lassie, as your child on her own, I'll pray for her. Yes, she's on her own at the moment. She's dealing with the kids, and little Joe is Geronimo Joe. Bless him. Josephine says, I hope you're okay, Julia. Why are you on your own? That's a good question, which no doubt if you ask her privately, she might be able to tell you. Bonnie says, I used to put my son on top of the washing machine and send him to sleep as a baby. How lovely. That's a good idea. As long as you don't actually forget and put him in the washing machine, then, of course, you might get done for manslaughter. Which has been interesting. Rita Loy says the Vobe Show needs your love and give this show a thumbs up. Oh, yes, thank you very much. We do like that. Colonel Crag, I said that about Colonel Crag. 50 minutes is fine. I'd watch the longer version. The Smugglers of... the Smugglers of Romney Marsh, the Petworth one, the Tunbridge Wells, etc. Yes, I mean, I'm getting back into the long format, so I'll find my stride. It's good. Bonnie says, I would prefer not at 7 p.m. on a Friday, but 50 minutes is okay. This is the problem. It's finding a day that everybody is happy with, isn't it? And I don't know when that is. The trouble is, everyone will tell you a different time, and in the end, you say, right, 3 a.m. on a Sunday, and then nobody comes. Apart from people in America, they'll come in their droves, which would be great. And you can park your droves in the Drove car park, special car park we have commissioned for it. Anyway, thank you very much. We've got some lovely comments coming in for that. So we do have some videos. Shall we start with a little bit of music? Do you fancy a bit of music? Bonnie, our very own saxophonist. How do you pronounce that? Saxophonist? That doesn't sound right. Saxophonist. That sounds better. Sunday at 8, apart from this Sunday, says Mike. You see, everyone's got their own personal time. That's the trouble. But anyway, let's go in. Bonnie has been learning a new tune. Let's have a listen. How is she getting on?
New tune.
There we go. How about that? I don't know what the tune was. Maybe you can tell us. I mean, it's probably something very, very obvious, but sometimes I am a bit rubbish at music. But there we are. Thank you very much, Bonnie. That's lovely to follow your progress on the old saxophone. Do send in some more, because I'm sure we're all going to be... There we are. Look, I was going to say, we're all going to be clapping and saying how fabulous it is. We have a phone call. So, yeah, brilliant stuff. I couldn't play a note, so I would be absolute rubbish. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show.
Excuse me, sorry.
Oh, somebody dying there.
Somebody died, yes. Hello.
It's Mr. Suggett from the Veg Grower podcast. What a lovely man he is, calling in on the show.
Yeah, I thought I'd better make myself useful.
Yeah, that's it. They do say hello to Amanda, although I've already said hello to Amanda, and can't wait to taste her cakes.
Yes, so I've
rude.
sent her to the kitchen to make some.
Oh, marvellous.
Yeah, I fancied one after you talking about cakes.
I know, yeah. It's a very... See, the thing is, I'm desperately trying to keep off sugar, and I'm doing a very good job of keeping off sugar, but every now and again, the odd chocolate bar, don't say anything. And then, somebody says, oh, how about a cake or a biscuit? And you go, well, if other people have made it or offer it to me, that's all right, as long as I don't buy the stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's...
Well, it's funny you say that, because I know whenever I used to come around to your house, you always offered me a biscuit.
Yeah.
So when you started coming around ours, we had to make sure we had biscuits in so we could reciprocate. Before that, we never had biscuits.
You never had biscuits in?
Yeah.
Yeah,
well... We didn't really eat them.
No, and I did used to enjoy the odd biscuit throughout the day, but not very many. But now I don't bother to buy the biscuits. And then I've now because we now come out of this COVID nonsense, and of course people have been popping round, and then I feel embarrassed because I'd say, oh, have a cup of tea or coffee, and then I go, I haven't actually got any biscuits to offer you, because you just feel that you need to offer somebody. I don't know whether you do, but I've always felt, oh, I better offer a biscuit, and then there isn't one.
Well, yeah, no, it was until you started offering me biscuits, it was a bit alien, and then we started thinking, oh, perhaps we should offer you biscuits when you come round then.
Yes, but
so
you used to
just for you.
You used to offer me wine gums.
Wine gums, yes,
because you have them in your. I don't know whether you have a secret supply, but you had like packets and packets in your van.
Yeah, they were. There's one sweet I do like, and I tend to keep a packet in a van for when I'm driving along the motorway and just suddenly get a bit tired, try and keep me awake.
Right, bit of sugar.
Sucking on a sweet just helps.
Yeah.
Especially driving along that M27 today. it just helps keep you a bit more alert, I find.
Thank you for making that comment, saying that I've just driven along that road.
Yeah.
Where were you coming from?
Dorset, Bournemouth.
Oh, you were in Bournemouth.
Bournemouth and Wimborne, today.
Oh, that's a fair old trek, isn't it? How long does that take? A couple of hours?
A couple of hours, depends on traffic.
Yeah.
I do that on a weekly basis at the moment.
Oh, do you?
Before COVID, it was pretty much 3-4 times a week I was going down that way. So,
blimey.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's all good.
How things have changed.
Yes. So the traffic is coming back now. I mean, I suppose to me it seems to have come back really quite just before Christmas. It started to creep back, and even though we went into lockdown, I didn't really notice too much of the lockdown thing in January. I mean, I know schools couldn't go, and a lot of people couldn't go back to work, and people were working at home and all of that. But I felt the roads were nothing like they were in the March of last year.
Compared to that first lockdown, the roads over Christmas were busier, but still not as busy as they are at the moment.
Right.
They've definitely got busier probably since about April, May time this year, I think. But I'm leaving 8:30 in the morning and doing the day traffic, so
yeah.
That's when I notice it more.
Amanda's just observed that you are obsessed with wine gums.
Yes, that is my Achilles heel.
How interesting. And Bonnie there's just said, now this is, I don't know, you probably don't have this on your phone, because I certainly don't. She says, I've been self-isolating this week as my NHS app pinged, and it's very annoying. And Judith has been doing this out there, because she said in the SMT that the bloody thing has been pinging. And, of course, it's been in the news that too many of these things are pinging, and so now they're going to adjust it a little bit. And you just think, that just sounds very suspicious, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I don't have the app.
Only 5 million people in the country downloaded the app. And none of us, it wasn't mandatory. I never downloaded it because I just didn't want to get pinged.
Yeah, I didn't download it because my phone's got better things to do, to be honest.
Exactly. And I don't want to be tracked and traced and all the rest of it. Well, of course, I just, go out and kill people. So that's okay. That's my normal.
Yeah, I've told you off about doing that before.
I know. They'll catch up with me one day.
They will. You're on thin ice.
I'm on thin. They'll just make me. You see, I have to do that. It's just a break from broadcasting. Go out, spread a bit of a virus, and then come back. Otherwise, they'll force me. Imagine if I was having to self-isolate. I'd be on here 24/7.
Yeah, well, that'd be all right for everyone else who wants to watch you.
Yeah, that would upset the world. That would. Oh God! Everywhere we go, look, the bloody Vobes is on again. He's on everything.
You'd be on the news channel.
Yeah, I would start making myself available for all these TV stations, these rolling news that need a commentator, and I would just go, because of the studio and stuff. They go, oh, we can call on the Vobes to get his opinion. I mean, I don't know why I don't do that really, because that would probably get a lot more hate mail. But there we are.
Well, there you go. That's another idea for you, another business opportunity.
Another business. So what have we got coming up in the Veg Grower podcast?
Oh, Sunday we've got my live show at 6 p.m. and we're talking about seed saving.
Seed
saving, saving seeds from your flowers and plants that you already have.
Oh, right. So from the plants that you've already got, I was with the lovely Lee Lawson the other day. We were looking for a grave in the Worthing and Darrington cemetery. And this is a bloke who used to live in my house, who collapsed and died at we think the front door. It could have been the back door, while smoking his pipe. And he was 57. It's a very interesting age, because there might have been somebody else who was 57 in current times, but we can't possibly prove that. Anyway, he apparently collapsed in 1889, living in my house on the front doorstep, died, was buried in the cemetery. And so Lee'd been doing some research on this chap, and we went to find the grave. And actually, we should have filmed this, but we didn't. We did take some photographs. We did.
That's very unlike you.
I know. Well, I didn't think Lee would want to be videoed, to be honest with you. So I just sort of went along and thought, okay. But I might go back and make it into a little video. Anyway, the point was, she wasn't convinced we were in the right place, and she went back to look at the chart at the entrance. And I was just faffing about, and I started to peel back some of the ivy over some of the older gravestones. Anyway, I found this grave. I found the right person, and uncovered it, and we took some pictures, and it was all very exciting. But on the way back, she looked at a little flower, and she said, "Oh, I want some of these in my garden." And she didn't pick the flower, but she looked to see if there were seeds. See, there was a purpose for that whole long-winded story. She went to look to see if there were seeds. I don't know what it was, this tiny little thing. She said, "Oh, it's not come into seed yet." So how do you collect seeds from flowers? I mean, I know you're not supposed to pick wild flowers.
No.
But you can collect the seeds, presumably, because you're basically propagating, are you, or carrying life on?
Oh yeah, I mean, you can collect the seeds. That's basically how we buy seeds anyway. It's what you want to do when we're growing flowers or for architectural use. We tend to deadhead them as soon as the flowers start to go over. That way, it encourages them to produce more flowers and not produce seed. Because once a plant has made seeds, its job is done, and therefore doesn't feel the need to make more.
Right.
So you would leave, instead of deadheading the flower, you'd leave it until it goes very ripe, very dry, and you can basically see some seeds. And then you'll take that flower head off, that seed pod, dry it out some more, and save the seed from it. But you've got to process it depending on what the seed is. Bit of a process involved.
So you wouldn't just take the dead-headed flower, the dried up flower with its seed pod, and then immediately bury it, or would you keep it for a year and do it in the next season? You
could do it that way. It's what happens in nature, but it's a bit unreliable because it could spend an entire, let's say, 6 months lying on top of a soil where birds could eat that seed.
Oh, I see, yeah.
The weather conditions may not be right, and so on and so on. But if you've got a wildflower meadow, that's basically what you're doing anyway. When you chop it down, you're letting those seeds go into that ground and grow naturally.
Well, this
themselves.
is what Michael Joseph did in the video that I made a couple of videos, actually about 3 videos on his wildflower meadow, and we're going to see a video shortly with Mike showing off some more of his wildflowers. And Michael Joseph, who's a leading expert on this, he harvests it with a mechanical scythe, and they just scatter it there and then on the new prepared land, and along with the rest of the plant, which sort of helps protect the seeds because they just drop out apparently, and then the birds can't so easily get to them. And then it also adds a bit of mulch, if that's the right word.
Yeah, a bit of compost as well.
Yeah, and then away it goes. So, that's really good. Bonnie says that seeds propagate in different ways. Some need to be pooed out, so it relies on animals.
Yes. It's there's 2. One's called scarification and one's called stratification. I can never remember which way round. The one, if we were to do it ourselves, we would put in like an acidic bit of liquid for 24 hours before sowing.
Is that to mimic going through a mammal's body?
Digestion system. Yeah, to mimic that.
Right.
And some we might stick in the freezer or fridge to get a colder temperature in order to encourage them to germinate as well.
And is that to trick it to think that it's gone through winter?
Yes.
Because you do that with, I know you do that with horse chestnuts. I think you're supposed to put horse chestnuts in the freezer and then bring them out a couple of weeks later, and they're okay. They just think
yes.
Apple
seeds are another one as well.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I always think it's amazing how clever these seeds are to know when it's the right time for them to germinate.
Yeah. It is. I mean, it's absolutely joy. So you're doing a thing about seeds at the moment, and you've got your live show, and you're going to tell us and show us and demonstrate and all of that.
Yeah, well, the way my live show works is more about getting everybody's tips in, more about a conversation going on, and everyone saying their own 2 pence worth, rather than me saying what everyone should do.
No, but you do give advice, which is great. Advice from your experience, because you've been doing this for donkey's years.
Yes,
in fact,
yes.
Longer than donkeys have been around. I think you were doing this back in the Neolithic time. In fact, you were advising the Neolithics.
Yep. Stonehenge was built as a monument to me.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. And I think actually on the top of Stonehenge they put packets of wine gums, don't they, on that ring?
They do, and if you look very carefully, I've actually scratched in that Richard Suggett was here.
Yeah, absolutely. And as the sun rises, there's you in your van munching on wine gums.
Oh, my wine gums.
Meanwhile, Amanda is going around with a torch and a camera on her hat, exploring underground secret passages.
Yes, yeah.
What a team.
Doing her urban exploring.
What a team. Yeah. Richard, we better move on, but thank you so much for calling in and saying that you enjoyed the video.
Yeah, no problem. I enjoyed the premiere as well, is what I wanted to say.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I preempt that. I thought you'd said
the
that.
The premiere went down very well.
Yeah, it did go down. Thank you very much for the advice and the help and the suggestion. And I think next time I will do it a bit longer. I appreciate that.
No problem.
You're a star.
No problem. Take care.
Take care, Richard. Thanks for the call.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
No
Bye.
Bye.
There we go. That's Richard Suggett, the Veg Grower Podcast, which you can find out at veggrowerpodcast.co.uk, I think it is, or just put Veg Grower Podcast into a search engine. It will pop up. Check out his YouTube channel. And at 6 o'clock on Sundays on YouTube and Facebook, he is live like this, which is great. He's got his own studio. It's much more fun because it's a real garden shed. Let's have a quick look at some of the comments, and then we'll go to another video, which in this case I think it's appropriate that we go to Mike Stevens, who's going to give us some more wild flowers. You see, this show is pretty seamless, is it not? It's planned to the nth degree, he says, hopefully. So Audrey Forbes says, dried, was buried, and rose again. Yes, indeed. Moonshade says, is talking actually to Elaine. And Jonathan Sock says that would have made a great video, referring to me univying a tombstone and discovering who was the man who died in my house. Sean Buttimer says, love the Dorset video, thank you very much. Ernie is a legend. The scenery was stunning. Yes, I wish we'd had more time. I should have gone longer, but the weather was we've just not had very good weather this summer. Mark Burgess says, I used to enjoy scattering cylinder seeds and getting many new plants growing. And Ramibu says, I have foxgloves that desperately need dead heading, but I am purposely letting them go to seed so I can glean the seeds. That way, when we sell the house, I can still take some of my dad's. Brilliant. What a brilliant idea that is. Bonnie says, someone spread their cess tank over the field behind our old house and thousands of tomato plants grew. Oh, is that because the pips in the tomato pass through the body, go into the cess tank, and then once that's interesting, isn't it? I wonder if that happens with a septic tank. Is a septic tank that just sort of bleeds? Ernie's got one of those. I think it just sort of oozes into the landscape. Does that mean that somewhere there are a whole load of whatever has passed through the system that grows? Interesting. Good idea. The locals, she says, picked the poo tomatoes and made chutney to sell at the village show, unbeknown to those who were buying. Isn't it amazing? Ernie says, Suggett's got a great show. He certainly has. I do try to tune in. I do sometimes get forgetful, but it's definitely worth tuning in. He's a good chap. Lots of colours in the garden, says Mike, which is great. And Rita says the Vobes show is very seedy. Yes, indeed. So let us go into the video box. And Mike is going to show off his wonderful flowers in Goring. I believe this is the back garden. I think we saw the front garden. He has gone wildflower mad, and bless you, sir, for doing so.
Hello, this is Mike. This is the rear garden wildflower meadow. Here we are. I'll take you around the meadow to have a look at the various plants. That is actually evening primrose, but it is seen better days now. I think this is a mustard plant. Through here, some more. Beautiful parts of the meadow here, all these lovely flowers. A row of hazel trees here for the fence. The sea of wildflowers. I had to go planting some vegetables. This is kale. There's actually lettuce down there. This. Sea of wildflowers. We have milk thistle here. It's first year, but it's flowering. It's not meant to flower until the second year. And here we have the rose, Grace Rose, Dame Judy Dench Rose, and the Lady of Shalott Rose. Small herb garden with lavender, parsley, sage, rosemary, thyme, fennel, dill, feverfew, herb robert, and marjoram and oregano. So this is Mike signing off, and the Wildflower Meadow. Thank you very much.
But how about that? Stunning. Absolutely stunning. What an amazing array. Would love to have seen a wide angle of the whole garden just to get that, you know, the bigger picture, to see it all. We almost saw it there just at the end. Brilliant to see all the close-ups, but, you know, just to get the overall effect that you must see when you look out your window, Mike. Absolutely amazing. And I noticed in the comments there you said that all grown from seed. So where did you get the seeds from? Are they readily available in the shops, presumably, or did you get them online? And of course, somewhere in there, I know you said that the Andrew Norris seeds are also in there. I've got some Andrew Norris seeds in my garden. It sounds like a certain brand, doesn't it? The Andrew Norris seeds, the Norris collection. And quite right too, but I'm not quite sure that any of mine came out, because the only thing really that's very prominent in my garden, which now is, instead of being vertical, is actually horizontal, are my hollyhocks, which I'm very thrilled are growing. Mike says, I've taken a wide-angle video which I'll send next week. Fantastic. Oh, you're teasing us, which is brilliant. Look forward to that. Thank you very much. Parsley the Lion, says Aaron Walker. Big thumbs up, says Anna Jones, which is great. Jeff and Mandy, very nice video. Indeed it is. Great variety. I'd love to know what your neighbours think. I bet they're just, envious. They're either green with envy or they scratch their heads. This is what Michael Joseph, who was the master of this, who I interviewed, he said, you can do this and people will look at you as if you're mad with all these wildflowers. Or because they'll have this, uniform lawn, or indeed they'll have a paved thing in their garden, especially in their front garden. So they'll either think you're raving mad, or they'll think that you are some magic maestro. Dandelions, the roots can be ground to make coffee, which they did in World War II. How interesting. And Rami Boo, that was Linda Kane. Rami Boo says, did you ever show pictures of your hollyhocks? I haven't. I must show pictures. I did do it in a video. We have another phone call, so let's find out who is calling. Hello on the Vobe Show.
Sean James Cameron from London.
Ah, another horticultural person ringing in on the Vobe Show. Good evening to you, young fella, my lad.
I was reading in the newspaper a couple of weeks ago how somebody had turned their front garden into a wild meadow.
Really? That's amazing.
Beautiful.
I've never heard of that. Never heard anybody would do that.
It looked beautiful.
I bet it did.
And then they woke up one morning and there was a note pushed through the door saying, please tidy up your garden. It looks disgusting. It's bringing the whole of the village down.
You are joking.
And they signed it that it was from the local, sort of like the Cambridge in Bloom. But they then came out and said that it wasn't them. So somebody had taken offence.
Isn't that?
And,
that's what I was trying to say. It's and Mike says it was so boring to have a lawn. He wanted to be different, and quite right. I think it's I wish I had a garden that I could do that sort of thing in.
I actually think that roundabouts should be as well.
Absolutely, the verges and roundabouts, anywhere where there's ordinary just grass that's not being utilised would be.
And I don't know why they don't put more, because I was involved once with the local Sydenham in Blooms situation where we put some flowers, but I kept saying that we need to put scent. You come off the train 7:30 in the night. You've been in work for the entire week when people used to go to work. And you come off and you smell the flowers and that would just relax you. So I put some seeds in and I said, what's happened to the night-scented stock? Oh, we've taken those weeds out to tidy it up.
It's the attitude, isn't it, that people need to be educated. People, and in our small way, by showing Mike's videos and people like Michael Joseph and people like that, we are trying to educate people. But obviously, you need it on a national scale so that people actually understand not only that they're wildflowers and that they look nice and smell nice in their own right, but also what they're doing for the wildlife and for the whole food chain.
Yes, so although I've just been looking at my camera, which is on the garden that I've got, and I could do without the foxes digging up the potatoes that I planted this morning.
Well, that's true.
That's another issue. But your front garden, you could easily have a trellis going up it and maybe put some winter clematis, which then comes out during the winter and it gives off a scent.
Oh, right. Yeah, well, I need some advice on these things and where to get them and all of that. It would be great. It would be lovely to have a scent, because my neighbour's got a lovely patioed garden, front garden, with a lot of lovely scent from his bin that he doesn't seem to clean out. And so if I sit there reading my book, I get this
odious draft.
Exactly. Hello, lovely Julia.
Hello, Mr. Richard Vobes, and hello, Sean.
Hello, Julia.
Hello, lovely. What were you saying, sorry?
Did you stop the dog from peeing over your
No, but somebody came up with an idea of shoving vinegar down in front of it. And, of course, I need to do that before they come along, so it's fresh and nice and smelly. But to be honest with you, I haven't got any vinegar in the house.
I keep suggesting... Sorry, go on.
Sorry, Julia, what did you say?
I was going to say, I keep suggesting to Richard that he finds some second-hand, the little centre tiles that used to go in the middle of the kitchen wall tiles.
Yeah.
Particularly the ones with herbs and stuff, and make a little mosaic on what used to be a little wall in front there, just to liven up your little wild garden, so that people know that it's meant to be like that.
Yes, that's true. I mean, yes, it needs, because at the moment it just looks a mess, and I think people do think, oh, it's horrible. But of course, what they don't realise is in there is all sorts of malicious creatures. Yes, little creatures.
Although you need some ladybirds in there.
You could do what I saw in London. I was walking down the street one day, and a man walked out into his front garden and peed in his front garden. That went back in the house again.
Is that sort of home fertilisation?
Apparently, he just couldn't be bothered to walk upstairs.
Yeah. Well, that's...
Anyway, moving on.
Well, thank you, Sean.
The mind boggles.
Thank you very much for your call, Sean.
Okay.
Take care. Lovely to talk to you. Bye-bye. There was Sean James Cameron there from London. And don't forget to check out his channel. It is called, he changes his name, and I'm just looking to see if we can see what it is. The Rambler and Sean James Cameron, Rambler, Gardener and Rambler, I think it is. Anyway, it's there. He's doing a combination of bits and bobs. I think he's off air at the moment, taking a break, and he's coming back in September. Julia, lovely to see you. How are you? How is little Geronimo Joe?
He's slowed down at last, and he's resting gently. He's not asleep yet, but he is resting.
I need to find...
At last.
Yes, need to find the hammer.
He had a late snooze today.
Yeah, I was telling the lovely viewer that he went to sleep, sort of 5-ish or something?
Yeah, I had a 20-minute snooze at 5-ish. Just fell asleep, just climbed up in my arms, and I was turned around to talk to Elijah, and he fell asleep in my arms. So I couldn't wake him. So
well, I was explaining that I came round to your place last night because you were feeling poorly and weren't very well.
I was feeling rotten. Yeah.
So Joe was being himself.
His crazy little hurricane self.
So I offered to put him to sleep, and it had been a long time. Sometimes when I'm over, if I'm over passing your house and I pop in for a cup of tea or something, and it's that time at lunchtime, and he can get into my hands and just drop off, which is nice. But it's been a long time at night time since I've had to put my kids, like years ago. Poor old Billy, who would not go to sleep when he was in his early 20s. Just wanted to go down the nightclubs. But yes, that took me back. So yeah, interesting. We get lots of comments coming in.
Edward Moulding said, "Put pepper down. Dogs don't like pepper." Is that what, black pepper?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that'd be sacrilege to you, wouldn't it? Putting black pepper down.
Now, I'm not sure if I did that. Did I do that? Edward Moulding sent me a question. I can't remember if we did this. Did we do this the other day? I always get confused. I'm sure he had a question. I've got a feeling we did it, but then I also don't know that we didn't do it. Oh, wait a minute. Is it in the here? Can't find it. Oh, there it is.
Don't know, but I'm getting good suggestions for helping busy kids get to sleep.
Oh yeah, no, go for the suggestion. We did do it. We did do that thing. Sorry, Ed. I thought we hadn't done it, and I realised we had. So,
didn't miss him out after all.
Yeah, we didn't miss you out. So go for it, Julia.
Bonnie says sleep lotion from Lush. It's brilliant for non-sleepy kids, proven. I love Lush, but it's a bit expensive at the moment.
What is Lush?
It's they hand make lotions and potions and soaps and bath bombs and things like that.
Oh right.
And the shops, they smell amazing. They smell literally lush.
Can you buy this stuff online?
I think you can actually. Probably.
Well, I should buy some and see if you test it out, and then report back.
Happily.
Let's see if we can find a website for them. Seeing as we're talking about it, LUSH, is it Lush?
Yep.
Soaps or what bath bombs? Is it?
Just type Lush.
Yeah, I was getting Lush, and then it was coming up with a whole. But I found it now. So here we go. bath bombs, but is that what we want? What is the thing that we want? Bath
Don't worry,
products.
that looks very basic for Lush.
All right, free delivery. Play in with. Is that the wrong website?
Don't know.
Lush.com. It's here. Lush.com.
One chickaroo.
We are.
Lush.com.
Yeah.
Probably.
The internet is slowing down now.
No, that doesn't look right. Oh yeah, no, that was right. It just.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is it.
Yeah, it's because I haven't. I don't want to have all the. I don't want all the cookies.
Fresh handmade cosmetics.
Set preferences. There we go. So what is this called? What, Sleepy? Is this the bubble bar? Is that what did she call it?
Just looking.
Oh look, the Bonnie said she'll buy you some.
Oh bless you.
Sleepy lotion. Sex bomb.
I can't find it.
Sorry, I just. All right, all of this.
They all look amazing and they smell delightful.
Well, that would be great. I mean, if Bonnie is up for doing that, that would be fantastic, and then we can report back on the show. That would be lovely. So there we are, Lush products there. Go back to us. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Bonnie.
Awesome suggestion.
Awesome suggestion. Ramiboo says the stuff I use is supposed to be organic, but apparently the dogs don't like the smell of it and don't want to defecate on my grass. What is she talking about? I hope that's not a sleepy lotion.
I saw someone wrote about gooseberries. Was that plant gooseberries across the front? It might deter anyone from brushing their bits against it.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Why? What do gooseberries do?
Well, they're prickly, aren't they?
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
I weirdly don't know what gooseberries look like.
They're green. They're like grapes. They're sort of like fat grapes, but incredibly. I mean, they're very, very tart.
I could just Google it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Or otherwise search engine it.
Sean Buttermer says, this may sound crazy, but you could try piddling on the front pillar yourself. Try the vinegar the night before, and if that won't work, then piddle on it yourself. And if that doesn't work, shoot the dog. Yeah. What one could do is dig a hole, and so it's like a little trap, and it falls through, and you just can't retrieve it. Poor dog.
A little cattle grid in front.
David Vad, there we are. Hairy grapes. Linda Kane, hairy grapes. That's what they're like, but they don't taste like grapes. I like gooseberries, but if you eat too many of them, as I remember, they give you a bad tummy. And I haven't had gooseberries for yonks. I think I was with, I can't remember, it must have been either with Mr. Suggett or it might have been in the days of Harriet that I had some, but they're very tart. But if you cook them, I think you can cook them and make gooseberry pie or something.
Jam
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think I've tried gooseberry jam. I remember not liking it.
Fantastic. Well, it's lovely to see you. Thank you very much for coming along. So we've got a couple more videos to get through, and we have a flower quiz. So I reckon we should do the flower quiz. We've got a gallery as well by Mark Burgess to have a look at. But
fantastic.
Whilst we know Bonnie is there, and we were going to do this earlier in the week, but Bonnie wasn't there, so we've saved it for this one. I've got to find it now for this show, because we don't have the answers, which is why there was no point us.
We need our Bonnie.
We need our Bonnie to tell us. Wildflower quiz. So here we go. I don't think we've done these. Sometimes I get a bit confused because we've had a few of them. So here is Bonnie. Are you ready to see how well our trusty flower identifiers are doing? Here is the first of the flowers to identify. There's a lot of different grasses there, but I imagine it's the curious-looking yellow one, which looks.
It's a yellow spider flower.
Is it?
No, I have no idea.
It looks a bit like, but I don't think it is, cowslips, but it looks a bit like that. But the grass around it, I don't know whether that's part of it. So that'd be interesting. Yellow flag iris. Oh, look, the flower identifiers, Linda Kane, Kerry Baldwin, Anna Jones, Anne Wright, are straight on. Andrew Norris. Oh, look at that. Yellow bingo. It's very much like yellow bingo. And Bonnie says it's flag. So, awesome. Flag. Good. I've never heard of flag, but there we are. That's me when I'm flagging. Oh, that looks lovely. This is a pink one.
Oh, that is lovely. It's like little candlesticks.
Pink candlesticks. Flag's yellow variety, says Moonshade. Meanwhile, flag iris, says Sean James Cameron.
Oh, is this like a pink honeysuckle?
Ah, honeysuckle. Oh, this is.
Yeah, it looks like the honeysuckle I've got outside, but mine isn't pink.
And am I right in thinking you suck those flowers and you get a sort of honey taste? Is that how that works?
I have no idea. No idea.
Now, to me, that looks like mallow.
It does look like a mallow from a funny angle.
But we'll
from
see.
A funny bird's eye view angle.
Yeah, but maybe it isn't because it's got that star-shaped leaves underneath. Dave says it's pink quaffer, corncockle, geranium. Says Rachel. Geraniums. Everyone's saying a geranium. Oh, okay.
Looks like we've got a geranium on our hands.
It looks like mallow, though, doesn't it? But maybe it's because it's just the colour and the shape. But that star quality leaves are different.
Yeah, I think it's deceptive just because we're looking at it from directly above.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't see the depth of the flower. See? Ooh,
wild. It was a wild geranium. Thank you, Bonnie. Now that one, no idea. Oh, wait a minute. Haven't we had this one before? Was this like little yellow stars or something?
I don't know.
I seem to remember there was one with these
tiny... I do feel like we should know this one. I feel like I should know all of these by now. But
well, mallow leaves are different. The leaves are different. That's what I was confused. Thank you, Moonshade. Yeah, the flower looks
tree
the same.
Quizzes.
Looks like tansy, wild mustard, yellow cornfield, not wanted on voyage. What does that mean?
Not wanted on voyage. Oh, it's just one of Dave Ivad's funny contributions.
Mustard going to seed, says Sean James Cameron. Going to seed.
Mustard been done with its flowers then.
Oh, right. And is that the same mustard? Bonnie says it's mustard. Is that the same mustard that you would have if you like Coleman's? Is that a different type of flower? I'd be interested to know. And that looks like Speedwell. But someone's going to tell me it's Forget-Me-Not. Oh, and there's little Joe's come into the world, sounding like it. Tansy. I don't think it is, but it looks like tansy. See, it is very confusing, isn't it? I mean, often seeing them in picture form is different. Forget-Me-Not, says Audrey Forbes. Yeah, I was going to say it's either Forget-Me-Not or Speedwell, but everyone's saying Forget-Me-Not, Paradox, Extract, could be. Andrew Norris says a Forget-Me-Not. Anna Jones says Forget-Me-Not. And is it? It must be a Forget-Me-Not. There is Greenfly on it. Is there? It's a shame, all that Greenfly. Forget-Me-Not, but not very tall. Okay. And let's go to the next one. Here we go. This looks interesting. Looks like there's stinging nettles nearby. Or is that part of the plant? I don't know what that is. But I'm sure somebody will tell us. Is that the last of our... This is the last one. Has anybody got any ideas? It's clever stuff, this, isn't it? Clever stuff. Trumpeter's Revenge, nettle, purple nettle, marjoram, stinging nettles in flower. Is that what a flower... Is that... Oh, who knew that stinging nettles flowered? Whorehound. Don't know this one, says Rami Boo. Is that right? Do stinging nettles flower? Purple nettle, Andrew Norris. Jacob's Ladder. Lots of different suggestions. And Bonnie's going to give us the answer any second, I know. He says, anticipating, nettles, I think, in flower. Are all nettles purple, or do they flower different colours? There we go. How about that? Marvellous. Was that little Joe?
It was. Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. That's okay. Brilliant. Well, we all did quite well. We did quite well in that test. Stinging nettles are usually white. Right. Linda gave the whole name. Purple dead nettle. Yeah, there we are. Brilliant. is purple dead nettle? Is that not stinging? Then that's not the same. It's the same house of nettles. Family. Same family of nettles, but it's not the stinging variety. Never seen them before, says Jeff and Mandy. I sent you a photo of a flower into... Oh, yes, you did, actually, Mike. Well done. Thanks for that. Let's go to... he sent in a flower. Let me just find your flower picture. He says, I've sent in a... Oh, yeah, done this. Attached to this email is a photo of a rose called Grace. I hope you agree it's rather special. Is it the name you've given it, or is that the name of the rose? Is that the actual... That was a book, wasn't it, by Urco Umbro, or whatever his name was. Name of the Rose, which was a film with Sean Connery, if anybody remembers.
Nope. I didn't know that. Oh, that's beautiful.
So, yeah.
Lovely colour.
I just... Bless me.
Oh, bless you.
Sorry, I had to turn the
here it goes again.
Yes, I had to turn the sound down. Sorry about it. Yes, Umberto Eco. Thank you very much. I read that book. It's a big, thick tome of a book, and I also watched the film. Brilliant piece of work. Dead nettle is quite low growing. Stingy nettles can be extremely tall. And so, Mike, yes, I sent you a photo. I've done that. But is that the name? You've called it Grace. Is that you calling it Grace, or is that the name of the variety of rose?
I wonder if it's the name of the variety.
Yeah.
Bonnie has awarded us all a B+ for our efforts.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes, some of us, like me, did terribly badly, but hey ho.
Yeah, well, I darted out.
you darted out, but never mind.
Sorry about that.
I've got the sniffles. I don't know why. It's all this hay fever through the screen. Yes, thanks, Josephine Suter. I know. It's hay fever. Seeing all these plants and things. Obviously, it looks like Queen of Shallot. Well, that is your shallot. Mike hasn't said... Oh, it's the name of the rose. It's the name of the rose. Yes. But is that the name you've given it, or the name of the variety? I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Brilliant. Okay, let's go to a video, shall we? And then we're going to...
Rose by any other name.
Exactly. Then we'll go and have a look at Mark Burgess's gallery. And so we're going to go up... we're going to do some climbing, first of all, before we get to the wonders of pylons we have coming up, ladies and gentlemen, in the show, the wonders of pylons. But I'll leave you guessing on that. Colonel Craig Ratty has put together a wonderful slideshow video of various climbs, I believe it is. Let's go and check it out. about that? There we are. The adventures of a real adventurer. Good old Colonel Crag Ratty there. Amazing
A proper
stuff.
crag rat.
A proper crag rat. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, goodness gracious. Clambering up those rock faces in all sorts of, and 70, 79, 82, 604. I mean, is amazing. He's going to live. He's going to live forever, isn't he? If you can do that in your early 70s, you're going to live forever. Brilliant stuff. Thank you so much for sharing.
That was a lovely video.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Great stuff. We enjoy feeling that we ought to be doing something as fit as that, but we don't do it.
Somebody asked.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry, somebody asked Colonel Cragretti, or Daily Walker did, if how he brings the ropes back down, and he says the second climber follows me up, takes the gear out, and we both end up at the top with all the ropes, all the gear, and no idea.
And no idea. Presumably, some of them you have to climb back down, but presumably some you can just walk round.
Totter off.
Yeah, totter around.
Yeah. Totter off from the top.
I'm waiting to see the one where they climb up and then they hang glide down.
Ooh. Scary stuff.
That one where they just use like a bat suit.
Bodysuit.
Oh, is that and do
I don't know what they call it, but that's fantastic, but oh so scary.
Very scary. I'm not good on heights, so really and truly. Is that seagulls at your place?
Yep.
I was looking up thinking, God blimey, where are they? And then, oh yeah.
Get your broom out.
Yeah. Eric, shut up. Oh dear.
That's right, sir.
What? Are you up there, Eric?
I am, sir. I'm up here, sir.
Good. Thanks for the comments. He says, Daily Walker says, so you walk back via a different route, a winged suit. Yes, a winged...
Oh, yes, base jumping. When you jump from a base, I guess.
All the way down?
Yeah.
Some you walk off, some you abseil back down on a rope. Oh, yeah, there we go. Marvellous stuff. So, now, Mark Burgess has sent in... I haven't actually looked at these because... I don't know, I'm a bit rubbish at this sort of thing. But he sent in an email saying, while you were having fun with Ernie, he said, I was out for a rare outing to Russell Gardens in the grounds of Kearsney Abbey near Dover. Took some pictures, which I'd like to share with the Vobes Show audience. Part 1 of 2. The second will follow in due course. Hope they'll be all right. Mark, you're a star. God, they're so loud, aren't they?
Yeah, sorry.
No. It's lovely ambience. It's ambience. I enjoy it. Yeah.
I forget. It's just background sound to me.
Yeah, so you hear it all the time, but to us, it's love. I mean, I do hear it when I go out, but just hearing it on the show, it's really nice. So here we go. It'd be great sound effects for Russell Garden grounds at Kearsney Abbey near Dover, which presumably there are seagulls nearby, and in fact there's some ducks coming up. But let's have a look at some of these pictures then. Sorry I haven't got any music or anything to accompany them.
Oh, beautiful.
But, yeah, so that's nice little, what do you call that? A stream with a very low bridge, little arch.
I don't know what you'd call that little channel under there.
Yeah, it's like, they call them leats, don't they, in Dartmoor. They have these little running streams, and they're called leats, if I remember rightly.
It's not called a culvert, is it?
It's kind of a culvert. It's a culvert, I thought, is where it goes underground, but maybe it doesn't. But look, you can see it goes into the distance, and there's another bridge. Very lovely.
Well, Colonel Cragratty says a culvert.
A culvert. All right. Okay, fair dues. Is it the culvert, presumably, because it's man-made? Is it a channel that it's man-made?
Yeah.
When is a brook a stream? That's a good question.
Good question, indeed.
Yeah, so that's sort of very narrow, and it must be man-made. It's like a very miniature canal, but you wouldn't want to put a boat on it.
No,
unless
it'd be fun to
paper
play little,
boats.
Paper boats on that and have little races. It'd be great.
Didn't a seagull just fly past Julia's face then? Says Sean.
No, it was a huge moth actually.
Oh, it was a moth. Gosh.
I'm going to have to try and catch that and get it out in a minute.
Lovely lake here with a little waterfall and some seagulls. And of course,
beautiful.
When you want the seagull sound effect, they've all
and there's no seagulls.
They've all bloody stopped. It is an outrage. Outrage. And here we have some ducks. What are they called? Tom, Dick, and Harry, I think.
I don't know what they
Orange.
Yeah, I don't know what breed they are as such. But they're so characterful. Look at those lovely faces.
And there we are, ready in case anybody falls in. You have the emergency ring. It's always good to have someone by the emergency ring. Let's not dwell on that. And moving on. Oh, there's Tom, Dick, and Harry going, this is a good place to dig a tunnel. I can see perfectly. Oh, yes. Trips over his foot. Now, what are they? Are they signets?
Hang on.
Oh.
Yes.
Signet rings?
Baby swans.
Ah, baby swans.
I'm a swan. I'm not an ugly duckling after all.
And, yeah, there's...
So, do excuse me, I am standing on the desk on the other side of the room trying to catch this blooming moth.
Oh, are you? Hang on one second.
Got
You've got it? Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Where are you? She's
coming. I'm coming.
Oh, we nearly got...
That was a bit of an eyeful. Sorry about that, folks.
We nearly got more than we bargained for, but...
Oh, there it goes.
There it goes.
Lost it.
Blimey.
Right, I'm going to have to catch it again.
You get it all on this show, ladies and gentlemen. You get it all on this show. And she's gone back off. So whilst she's away, let's just finish off these pictures. We were here.
Right.
And... Oh, look, what the hell is that? Is that a moth?
That's a ferret.
Oh, that's a ferret. There we go. It's a ferret. Did I ever tell you I once had a song about that?
I sat on a ferret the other day.
Yes.
No, I don't think we've ever heard of that one. Do tell.
Is that a moorhen or a moth? A moorhen or a, what's the other? Coot. Bald as a coot, isn't it? Coot's got the... I can't remember. People tell me until I'm blue in the
Bald
face.
as a coot. I think that one's a coot.
All right. And
I don't bloody know anymore.
I don't know. No, it is too confusing. It is too confusing. Julia, says Daniel.
Yeah, oops.
Oops. We nearly had YouTube taking us off the air then. But it was well worth it. We'll rewind that a bit later on. Off Track Wanderers says...
That's for you, Josephine.
We spent near 500 at a hotel in Dover, and having a view of the beach from the window was a seagull at the window all day long, so I had to feed him. Gosh, £500 at the hotel, and you've got the lovely seagull. How lovely. Is a signet another name for a vest? There's obviously a joke, but I don't get it.
No, I don't get it either.
No. Moorhen.
My cocks are going to blow. Nope, it's too much. Too much for me on a Friday night.
Oh, yes. Sean James Cameron, very quick on the mark there, says, I think, Julia, you've just got the thumbnail for the video.
Thumbnail for this video.
Yes, there we go.
Yes, I don't think so.
No? I think that might be a clickbait.
That might be a quittable offence.
Oh, yes, that's true. I might get slapped. Not tonight, Josephine. Not tonight, Josephine. Singlet. Oh, yes, a singlet. Another name for a vest. There you go. Well done. Thank you. Somebody's on the ball, which is brilliant. Singlet is a vest. Yes, thank you. Everyone's got in it. Julia is the new intro version of the Vobes show. Yeah. Just trying to catch a moth, officer.
Oh God! I was just trying to catch a moth, Ossifer.
Dear, dear. We better just calm ourselves down and get. Shall we get ourselves a bit more earthed, because we're all highly charged at the moment.
Yes.
Yes. So John Fox is going to take us into the interesting world of pylons, and I'm not talking about Monty Pylons either. Let's have a look.
Our beautiful landscape, the South Downs. But oh, pylons. Actually, in the industry, they're known as transmission towers. Anyway, they seem to be an accepted necessity, maybe. So typically we have these wires, and there tend to be 6 of them, 3 on each side of the tower, and then there's one right at the top. That's known as the earth wire, and it has a little job to protect the other wires from lightning strikes. But otherwise there's 3 on each side, which is carrying 2 sets of supply, 1 on each side. And you'll notice that these wires, well, they span a long way to the next pylon. But if you look a bit closer, you'll see that these wires run into these discs. They're the insulators, and they ensure that the electricity can't transfer into the tower itself. But you notice that some of these insulators, well, they're horizontal in line with the wire on some towers, but on other towers they hang vertically downwards. So on these towers the wire is just suspended, and in fact that type of tower is known as a suspension tower, whereas this type of tower with the insulators running parallel with the wires or in line with the wires is known as a tension tower. So apart from carrying all the electricity around the country, you think that these wires are just hanging there, but they are subject to a lot of environmental loads, including wind, and snow can accumulate on them, and ice, and then you might get ice and wind as well. So all these add a lot of weight to the wires, and they become quite stressed. The suspension tower, however, looks as though it's just having to pick up the weight of the wires. You've got tension on both sides of the tower, which kind of equal each other out to a degree. On this tower, however, this tension tower, the angle will try and pull the tower over. Then what can happen is that during the environmental loads, such as the wind, ice, or heavy ice or snow, one of the wires can break. Well, then the wires aren't balanced, and the tower is tried to rotate due to the eccentric forces. So in fact the towers have to be designed for a lot of scenarios. We've got the cross arms, which have got lots of bracing in them. They're the diagonal members. Cantilevering out from the main body, which is also braced all the way down the legs to foundations, which you can't see, but the legs are actually encased in concrete, and the weight in the leg gets distributed into the ground. They give us life as we know it. But you ask, well, can't these wires go underground? Well, they can, but that's not very straightforward. To start with, it's a lot more expensive. I understand to put these wires on this tower under the ground would probably be in the order of 3 to 5 times as expensive. And then the ground that the wires are in isn't usable for farming or development, so it has an impact as well. We do arguably get used to the towers and the transmission lines, and because they're grey and because they're almost see-through, we kind of turned a blind eye to them, and we can still appreciate the beauty around us. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, John. John Fox there with everything you ever wanted to know about pylons, but never thought about to ask. Absolutely fascinating. They're there. We almost don't see them, do we? And of course, the argument is that the turning, spinning, oversized hairdryers will also go that way, that we won't actually see them. But anyway, talking about oversized hairdryers, somebody with curly hair happens to have managed to get into the studio. Little Joe. Hello, little Joe. Hello, Joe.
I'll have to switch the playback device across to
Hello, Joe.
speakers.
Joe.
Oh, hang on, the cat's sitting on the keyboard.
Oh, the cat's on the keyboard. Joe's on your lap, and
it's all going on.
It's all going. Brilliant stuff. Kerry Baldwin, thanks, John. Interesting stuff. Just walked past. Bonnie says just walked past a house on Monday in Goring with a pylon in your garden. Just what you need, isn't it? Pile it on. So how is Joe? Seems wide awake. Nice looking hairstyle there.
Wide awake with his curly curls.
With his curly hair. They're just natural. They just curl. You don't do anything, do you, to make them curl?
Nope.
None of my kids had curls, I don't think.
Got Safi cat as well.
Safi.
Safi, can you see her? Her head
we
here.
can just catch her head. Somebody didn't go to sleep, says Lisa. That's true.
He's chatty today.
He's chatty. Hello, Joe. Can you hear? Hello, Joe.
No, because I'm having trouble with this thing. I don't know.
Oh,
why.
I see.
Do I need to?
Can you put the headphones on him?
Oh yes, that's a good idea.
Will he respond? I want, because now I can't talk to you. Hello, Joe. Hello, Joe. It's Uncle Richard. Hello. Can you hear me? Do you know who it is? He says, I don't want these on. There's a strange man talking to me. Bless him. So, what's it like living at the moment, Joe, with Mummy 1 minute on the show and then the next minute not? What? Yeah. You start school soon, don't you? Yeah, 12-hour days. I think you're going to do something like that. No? Don't want to go to school?
Are you going to wear it or not?
Hello, Joe. Everyone's saying hello. Hello. Now listen, I'm going away for a week, so will you stand in for me? You can host the show, can't you, Joe? Can you see me there, Joe, on the screen? I'm waving. Can you see me?
Wave. Oh, you dropped her.
Oh. No idea. Oh, well, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to that's it. It's 9:30 now, ladies and gentlemen. 9:30. Come to the end of another week. Hope to be here on Monday. Back again. Somebody asked, what is the next long format video going to be? Don't know yet. I'm still trying to work that out. I've got to go filming Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday and try and put something together for the end of the week. Don't know what day the next premiere is. Try and find a better time. Some people don't like 7 o'clock on a Friday. Some people want it at 8 o'clock on a Sunday or something. What time is that football game happening? It's on a Sunday, isn't it? I understand. So maybe I'll put it on then. That would probably be...
No idea about the football.
Yeah, I think it's on Sunday at some time. Whenever that is, that's when I'll put my premiere on, because obviously we'll have a big crowd in. Nobody's going to watch that game, surely. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming along. Thank you for being part of the Vobes show. Thank you for watching my premiere earlier today, if you did. If you didn't, the second half, by the way, will be out tomorrow morning from 4 o'clock UK time. That's so that our American friends can get it first. And the first one is out today. It went out a couple of hours ago, and you can watch that. Jeff and Mandy says it's at 8 on Sunday. Well, that's when the next premiere... Oh, no, it won't be the next premiere because that's this Sunday, isn't it? I haven't got time to make one by then. So you're lucky. It'll be the following week. But anyway, Linda Kane says, that sounds brilliant. It's anything but the football. I know. Well, I haven't got time to make another video in the space of 2 days. But I will make another one for the end of next week. But there will still be the daily videos, so look out for that. Anyway, there we go. Thank you so much for coming. Thanks to Judith for being out there and doing the monitoring. To Julia, it's lovely to see you, and little Joe for coming in. Thanks to Bonnie on her saxophone. Colonel Crag Ratty for showing us his years of clambering up rocks. Mike for the wonderful flower garden. John Fox for the pylons. Mark Burgess for the lovely gallery. And Bonnie, of course, for the quiz. Thanks to Richard Suggett for calling in. And Sean James Cameron also for calling in. And who was the first caller of the evening? Just trying to remember. Nigel Sadler. There we go. Sorry, Nigel. Nearly forgot you.
A bit like Nigel.
Yes, I got it.
My mute button.
It's Nigel.
It was Nigel. It was Nigel. Quick, where's your mute button? Unmute.
Have a great weekend, everybody. I will see you next week, and take care. Look after yourselves. Until the next time, from the lovely Julia and I here in jolly old Worthing and Lancing, and little Joe, who hopefully now... Joe, you will go to sleep. You will go to sleep. You are feeling drowsy. No, you are feeling drowsy. You sledgehammer. Until next time, take care. Bye for now. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Rick.